You're going. What's going on, guys? Today we are going to do a little review, a walk around of this 2025 good boy UForce 1000. I'm going to go over 3 things I do not like about this. I only have a couple hours on this. Still in break-in. It's almost ready for an oil change. Overall, I do like this, but we're going to go over the 3 things I really don't like about it, and then kind of give you an idea if it's worth the $14,000 that I paid for it. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so first I'm gonna go over a couple things I do really like about this. Number one, I like the way it looks. I think it looks mean. The headlights look great. Some people complain they're not bright enough. I think they're plenty bright. I love that you get a winch from the factory. You have that receiver from the factory. You get a roof from the factory. Black aluminum wheels from the factory. The windshield I added. The back glass I added. The speaker I added. Everything else is original or factory. I love that you have a dump bed. That is super handy, just for loading wood or doing whatever you're doing. And then you got pretty good access. And then if you need to, you can just pop that off. There's a couple pins and a gas shock, and you'd have pretty good access to the motor for anything. Batteries right there. So all that's pretty simple. But anyways, receiver hitch in the back, obviously that does not come with it, but plenty of tie down points. You know, I wouldn't go crazy with them, but those ones in there are a little more solid than these ones. And then just the amount of accessories you can add is unreal. And even like behind here, these are already pre-wired. I'm gonna add a horn and flashers at some point, but there are already connectors back here. So if you want to add a horn, you just add a switch, and then you need to add a horn, but there's a connector up there for it. So that is super handy. I think that's really cool the way they did that. Overall, the only thing I've really taken apart on this was I've taken this lower dash out. That was a little bit of a pain in the butt, but I think everything was put together, or the quality anyways, is pretty decent. They have these little clips that will fall off, and they were a pain in the butt. But other than that, everything seems par for the course. I know people say, oh, it's Chinese made, but everything's Chinese made. So this one's just, you know, they don't, like the Can-Ams were made in Canada, but they're all Chinese parts, you know. So overall, I've taken it apart a little bit. Everything seems good to me. Okay, so the 3 things I do not like. I started up, the clutch engagement is number 1. And I think everyone kind of agrees on that. And I kind of knew that going into buying this. I've been on one before, and that's just kind of how it was. But he thinks we're going for a ride. So it's just a little jerky. It's just not, you know, you have to. Actually, right there, it didn't really do it that bad. It might. I think it's because I'm on the hill, and it's not as bad. But normally it kind of, you know, into gear, and then also even at lower speed, it's kind of jerky around. Let's try it. Try it low gear. There you go. Yeah. All right. So low gear does it worse. So you get that little jump, but really right there, it wasn't that bad. Normally it's a little bit worse than that. That is one thing I don't like. Another thing I don't like is, well, right now it'd be nice because it's cold out. But you get a ton of heat from the motor. Once that thing heats up, there's a ton of heat that comes up under here, or maybe it's coming from back here. So I've only driven it really in cooler weather, nicer weather, so it hasn't been an issue. But I'm sure during the summer that's gonna be kind of annoying. I might add some reflective material or something under here, a heat shield or something. I know people add stuff. I haven't looked into it too much. It hasn't bothered me too bad yet, but I'm sure during the summertime that'll change. So that was another thing I don't like. So the clutch, and then in low gear, the throttle is touchy, so it'll get you jerking around. And, you know, you'll be bouncing everybody around. You got to kind of feather it a little bit. That's really That's it. I'm kind of nitpicking on that third one. The clutch is whatever. It doesn't bother me, but it is kind of annoying for what you are paying for. You'd think it would have a little smoother engagement. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with this thing. I don't even think I put it in 4-wheel drive yet. I've taken it off road. Haven't even needed to put it in 4-wheel drive, and I'm not going mudding or anything like that with this. It's just trail riding and hunting stuff. Other than that, very happy with it. I couldn't see spending the money on a Ranger or a Can-Am. I think the Can-Ams are nicer. They're a little nicer built, but for the price, I would have never bought one. And if I didn't come across these, I wouldn't own a side by side, just because it's too crazy. I could justify the money I spent on this. It's a little more than a nice 4-wheeler, but overall, if I had to do it get down. If I had to do it again, I would 100% buy this. I only have 15 hours or so on it, but I just think it's a cool thing, and for the price, you get a lot. I really like that too. That little storage toolbox that it comes with. There's your made in China. I think that's a ECU. Yeah, ECU. But it's made by Bosch, who, if you own a Ford or anything, you got Bosch parts in there. So you can't really say, oh, it's made in China, because everything's made in China. But that's just my 2 cents on it. I mean, I think it's an awesome machine. So I'm still waiting to I need to get it and do a wide open throttle on it. I've had it up to a 60-ish and not been wide open. So I can't do it around here though. But in South Carolina, when we get back there, we'll do that. But I mean, it's just I think for the price, it's a great machine. It's a good buy. So I mean, you get a lot for the money. Yeah. But anyways, all right. Well, that's it. I just wanted to give you a couple kind of cons on it, but really, it's been good. When I bought it though, the guy did tell me. He said this is the model to buy. He said the U10s had a lot more problems. The upgraded versions of these. So I don't think he was lying, because he'd make more money off selling those ones. But he just said these ones are a lot less issues. The base models, just the basic UForce 1000. So for what it's worth. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna add that the brakes aren't the best. I haven't had to get on them too bad, but they feel like they could be better. So for whatever that means, I feel like it could stop you a little bit better, but just use your head and you'll be fine. So, well, there she is. We'll go for a little ride. All right, let's go for a little ride. So I'm going to try and show you the few things I don't like about this. There it is right there. It's kind of just a little jerky. See that? So that is one big thing I don't like. It's not smooth, which is common. It's common concern with these, or common complaint. The clutches just aren't set up right. But there's a good aftermarket for it, but I feel like you shouldn't have to really do anything to it. When you're paying the money for these. So, a little low gear. Throw it to high. So we got 12 hours on this right now. That's all the neighborhood I can really drive. I can't go to the highway, but it's pretty smooth in high gear driving around. see that jerky. I'm giving gas, and then there you go. The engagement's just kind of tough, and then you know, letting off a little bit. Was that fun? Did you enjoy that? Yeah, this is his. I get to drive it. This belongs to the buck. So, but yeah. So you can see it's got a little bit of jerkiness to it. So I would say the 3 things I don't like are it's a little jerky, gets a little hot under that seat, and the throttle's a little touchy and in low gear. So most of that jerkiness is in low gear too. And the brakes could be better. That's a bonus. 4 things you don't like, but none of them are deal breakers. For the price you're paying compared to some of the other brands, it's really not an issue. You can kind of, I would say the heat's probably the worst thing for me, and just because we're in Florida and it's got to get hot. But other than that, you get a lot of bang for your buck with this thing. So if you're thinking about it, you might should go ahead and do it. So it's dirty right now, but the dog likes it, the kids like it, my wife likes it. It's a winner. So anyways, we'll see you all in the next one. Later.